Virus 13, Chapter 26. Soft music began to push its way through the earplugs. Pat opened up his eyes to the dawn sky, peering through the octagonal windows above. The realization that it was morning hit him like a sucker punch. He was still extremely tired. Speakers that visibly impregnated the walls were getting louder with each passing second. This wasn't the usual shrinking wake-up alarm. A piano and an assortment of string instruments serenaded the room. Over the music spoke the familiar voice of Dr. Slate. However, there was something strange about his voice. It sounded a bit nasally. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day here in the hill country, and I hope you. In middle sentence, Dr. Slate burst into a hacking cough. Pat could almost hear the penguin flying through the speakers and raining down on him from above. Slate regrouped. Excuse me, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Anyway, I hope you are all ready for a great day of recuperation. A man a few beds away beat his pillow in frustration, yelling, shut up, shut up, shut up, into it. He rolled over and tried to smother himself with the pillow to block out Slade's voice. Unaware of the cries echoing throughout the room, Slade's voice continued. I'm sure all of you are feeling pretty beat down at this point. No shit, screamed Camper. That's why today is a recovery day. You will have a few light workouts later in the afternoon. But besides that, we want to give you plenty of time for your aching muscles to get a much-needed rest. There will be no morning workout, so breakfast is now being served in the dining hall. After breakfast, Mandy will lead you all in a group stretch to loosen up those tight muscles. The sleeping hall burst out in cheers. Pat couldn't believe it. He jumped off his cot in joy. A recovery day. Thank you, thank you. The news had struck a chord of motivation within many. The room started to crawl with people eager to get to breakfast. Tony, for one, quickly unhooked himself from Pappy. Metal ground and springs groaned as the big man rolled off the cart, and the two meatloaves that wore his feet slapped the floor. He stretched out his arms and rubbed his stomach sorely. This is too good to be true. I'm starving. Tony pulled up his white shorts to the bottom of his bulging gut. You coming to eat, Pat? That was the best night's sleep ever. Annoyed, Pat agreed. Yeah, let's go, but I slept like shit. I wonder if they would give me a Pappy too. You should ask, man. I love it. It has changed my life overnight. I feel like $1,000,000,000. Pat bent down to grab his shirt. As he did, he noticed the coughing guy who had been on his left side was gone, vanished into the night. The man had coughed himself into oblivion, thought Pat. A surge of jealousy hit him. He bet the guy was probably off relaxing in an infirmary, taken care of by a nurse with rocking tits, decked out in one of the Slade's pornographic health retreat uniforms. Lucky bastard. James woke up to a bright orange mound of fur in his face. For an instant he thought he was being smothered by a fluorescent feather boa, but then realized Clementine had forced herself into his room and was frantically trying to wake him up. All right, you freak, let's go, James said, slowly rolling out of bed. The long night's sleep had left him feeling groggy. His eyes felt like they had been glued shut. Throwing on a pair of flip-flops, he stumbled his way out the back door. Clementine sprinted past and almost knocked him over in the process. The dog galloped into the middle of the lawn and just stood there in the dew-laced grass. What a sight. James said, well, I'm not going to wait all day. Go ahead and do it already. Clementine just stared back at him, her floppy tongue hanging out of the side of her mouth. The dog then busied herself with sniffing the grass, walking further and further away from the house. Not caring to wait on the dog any longer, James shut the door and went back inside. He pulled a container of cereal out of the pantry and made himself a bowl. The image of Aunt Rose's burning house was unshakable. Her loss hung heavy on his shoulders. It was too many coincidences for his liking. His brain tumor, the data drive, the missing genes, and now Aunt Rose, the only woman with answers, was dead. In his mind, he replayed how the firefighters had carried the body back out of the charred remains of the house, a group of yellow and blazing fire-retardant pearl balls. If he was right and that fire wasn't a mistake, he needed to be very careful. He considered reporting his suspicions to the Homeland Health. Was he just being paranoid? No answers came to him, so he just sat down at the kitchen table, TV on. The rectangular screen instantly appeared on the wall. What he saw made him choke, spew milk out his nose, and scatter flakes of oat bran all over the table. A reporter was standing outside the Stephen Hospital in Austin explaining that a newly developed vaccine was being distributed as quickly as possible. What the? The reporter said that the supply of vaccinations was extremely limited, so only government and healthcare workers are currently eligible. James sat with his jaw open as the reporter declared that Gene Firm had begun to release the new deliveries of the vaccine late last night. Other divisions of Gene Firm around the world were already producing the vaccine in order to meet the demand. The news claimed that the death tolls were extremely high in the hundreds of thousands, but it was too so soon, he thought. It was too good to be true. James felt his face flushed with heat and his eyes start to water. This would be another huge accomplishment for his wife and the company. Feeling the need to confirm this miracle, he whipped out his phone's earpiece and said her name. After a few seconds, the phone rang once and went straight to voicemail. Finally, he hung up. But the vaccine finished, she shouldn't be on the ground in the labs anymore. The bowl of cereal looked unappetizing now. There was too much excitement coursing through him to eat. He didn't know quite what to believe. There was only one way to find out.